So the level 25 dungeons are turning out to be not too bad. We have the Dragon 25 under 2 minutes. We have the Spider 25 in about 90 seconds. How well can we do against the Fire Knight 25? Let's find out. So here we go with another low effort team in the sense that I already had all of these champions built on my account and I didn't really change much for this to work. There's one crucial difference if you want to keep using the Lydia Seer combo is that you need more buffs, right? 3 buffs and AoE decrease defense and weaken is not enough for these waves now. You need probably at least 5 buffs for the amount of crit damage that you will see on my Seer, and then you should be able to almost pretty much nuke all these waves, right? So we get to the boss in about 30 seconds. Here it's a little bit more complicated. You now have 12 stacks on the shield. You also do reduced turn meter effects to this boss. It's 50% basically. So we are using an allure again to control the turn meter. I did try it with 2 allures. That's also relatively safe for the boss, but it's a little bit more complicated for the waves. Instead, I brought in Krila because you have extra buffs and you also have the allies join attack to get our allure to take an extra turn like right there, and to bring that turn meter further down. All right, so she also has a Giant Slayer, so allure basically becomes one of the main damage dealers for this boss fight. All right, and I think that's pretty important. We also deal reduced enemy max HP damage, which means that Seer is not going to deal as much damage as she can. And as you will see with the masteries, I opted to go with Flawless Execution on Seer for a little bit more crit damage because I really needed it instead of Helm Smasher. Helm Smasher might be better in the long run though, so if you really want to get Seer to hit as hard as possible, even though the damage is kind of capping at 10%, perhaps Helm Smasher can help a little bit, but then again, with decreased defense and weaken, we might already be capped, right? So it might not really work. We also need a lot of Evil Eye, so I think I have Evil Eye on Lydia, I have it on Renegade, we now have it on Seer, which I don't usually have on the live server, but I fixed that on here. Allure, I believe, also has it. So the run with 2 allures, and I can maybe show you guys quickly after, is slower, but it's a lot safer if you don't have an allies join attack. So it wasn't easy in a sense to find the right combination of champions here, but it's also very similar to the Dragon 25 team where we brought in Lydia, Seer, Renegade, and instead of Krila we have Mausoleum Mage, and then we brought in a dedicated Poisoner, which is a cult brawler. So like you have kind of like one specialist per team, I would say, right? So it's still doable, guys. You can handle this. It's not under 2 minutes for the time being, but hey, this is no effort, so I'm gonna say good enough for me for now. So we're going on what, 2 minutes and 45 seconds, but my best time was 2 minutes and 34 seconds. So before we get to our champion builds, here's a quick overview of the run with the 2 allures. I had used Mausoleum Mage. You are at risk of dying on the second wave because you're not resetting the skill. So although this worked once or twice, it's slower, and I wouldn't exactly go for this because again, it won't be 100% success rate. And also, as you'll see with the stats on my Seer, it's still not quite good enough. If she gets like not a weak hit, but on the lower end of her possible damage output for her Karma Burn, then you might end up not one-shotting the waves, and then you're out of rotation, and that still might not work. Also, if your Lydia doesn't land a decreased defense and weaken, same problem here is going to happen. So this is certainly not a 100% success rate. I showed us here multiple times before, kind of the same-ish speed here. We have 280% crit damage now. So again, you want to have probably at least 5 buffs, decreased defense and weaken. 300 accuracy is a little bit low. I need 350 for the hard Doom Tower, so I know this is somewhat of an issue. I have some work to do on the live server. All the skills are done. For the masteries, same as before, except we went for Evil Eye instead of Lore of Steel, and instead of Eagle Eye, we went for Flawless Execution. Then we've got our beautiful Lydia. She also has not changed. I just did a full build video on her. It's on the channel or the Google Sheets if you guys want to go check that out. So basically, this is the right amount of speed with Renegade and Seer to properly reset that combo. The waves are not faster, they're just tougher, which means that these speeds continue to work, but you still want really high accuracy so that you can land those debuffs to a 97% maximum chance. All the skills are done for the masteries. Also, they have not changed. We have Eagle Eye into defense here with Deterrence and Retribution. Then we've got our wonderful Krilo Witch Arm, which is currently in my main Ultra Nightmare, Batman Forever, Unkillable Clan Boss team, and it's been working wonders. I decided to go with a Reflex set because I was running out of Relentless gear. Both can work. I am trying to reduce the cooldowns, and you kind of need it because her skill is on a 4-turn cooldown, not a 3. So if you want to reset your combo properly for the second wave, you can either hope to get one of those procs, or don't forget that Seer basically has a buff of her own, which is the increased crit rate, so she goes into doing her A2 before the Karma Burn on the second wave. Technically, it should still work. So for Krila here, I never did a full build video on her. I will eventually do that. This is her speed, which you really need this speed for the Clan Boss build. Almost 4k attack. We have 196 accuracy. We don't care about her debuffs. Crit damage, I guess, is good. If she can deal, a little bit more damage on the Fire Knight, then great. And then for the masteries, we're running War Master for the tier 6 right there into Lasting Gifts, and Evil Eye once again is also pretty important, although my accuracy is low, so I'm not sure if this is really working. Then we have our Renegade. We also just covered her. I did not max out her gear yet, so I suppose she could be a little bit tougher and last longer against Dragon 25, but here we never take a hit from the boss. Therefore, not too worried about it for now, so the speed requirement is the most important. She does have a shield set for an extra buff for Seer to eat, and since she has a shield set, we gave her a good amount of HP, well, relatively good amount. Accuracy might also be pretty important here, so I might try to increase this further so that you get the Evil Eye proc, assuming the Fire Knight has 300 plus resistance, right? If not, then maybe we're still good with these amounts. I will make a separate build video on her. All the skills are done, and then for the masteries, we have not changed those. We have Bulwark here to try and protect our other champions against the Dragon 25, or usually our Cold Hearts against Fire Knight 20 speedruns. Then we have one of our allures. Again, you can use both, but I only have one that has her masteries maxed out, and it's this one right here. Plus, she is faster, so I'm gonna say aim for a whole lot of speed, which you already need anyway for the Scarab King if you're using her for that. 370 accuracy, I think this is really important, especially on her, because she's the main champion to control that turn meter. You also need 100% crit rate. I will make a separate build video on her. All the skills are not done on this champion. You don't really need it. It will not increase your chances, of decreasing the turn meter. You don't care about the damage portion of it either, because you're basically relying on Giant Slayer to deal the bulk of the damage with that skill. Evil Eye, Lore Steel, Spirit Haste, I guess, might not really matter. Also, this here might not really matter, but overall, this is it, guys. These are the 5 champions I've used for my speed run Fire Knight 25. No effort. Let me know what you think in the comments below. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll catch you guys later.